Yo, what's up, Libra? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of May 2016. For the majority of the month of May, the sun is going to be in the sign of Taurus. For you as a Libra, Taurus is your 8th house. The 8th house has to do with shared resources. It has to do with shared finances. It has to do with business contracts. It has to do with business deals and negotiations. And it even also has to do with your sex life. So there's a lot of things that this 8th house encompasses. And the sun is going to be in this area until May 20th. On May 20th, the sun is going to shift into the sign of Gemini. Gemini is your 9th house. The 9th house has to do with faraway travel. The 9th house has to do with people who are from faraway places. And the 9th house even has to do somewhat with spirituality too. So you're going to see a shift there. For the majority of the month of May, the focus is going to be more about shared resources, shared finances. And with the sun being in this position, like I said, this 8th house has to do with your sex life too. So up until May 20th, you may have more sexual encounters than normal. And then after May 20th, it's going to shift more into that area that's about faraway travel, people who are from far away, and spirituality. So those are the primary themes for the month of May for you, Libra, for May 2016. Now I'm going to talk about some more specific major astrological events that are set to occur this month and what they mean for you. On May 1st, right off the bat, the sun in Taurus in this 8th house area, this area of shared resources, shared finances, and your sex life, is actually making a positive angle to Neptune in Pisces. And Pisces is your 6th house. Your 6th house has to do with work, it has to do with daily life, and it has to do with your health. So this sounds like a great day. Like I said, the 8th house has to do with shared resources. It even has to do with business partnerships. So since the sun is in that area making a positive angle to Pisces in your 6th house of work, it sounds like maybe there's some kind of something positive happening regarding you maybe partnering your resources with someone for a professional reason. This could also suggest that, because, like I said, this 8th house area has to do with your sex life too. So it sounds like on May 1st or right around May 1st, you may take notice that there's somebody that you're sexually attracted to, or maybe they're sexually attracted to you, and they're maybe in your workplace, or if they're not in your workplace, then maybe they work in the same industry as you, or maybe this person knows people that you work with. So there could be, or maybe you know people that they work with. So there's a lot of different ways you can look at this angle on May 1st, but whatever it is, it's very positive. So make sure to keep your eye out for that one on May 1st. And on May 6th, there's a new moon in the sign of Taurus. Once again, so I mean, a lot of things happening with this 8th house area for you, Libra, in the month of May. And like I said, Taurus has to do with those shared resources, the shared finances, and it has to do with your sex life. So new moons are like a trigger. So after the new moon hits on May 6th, all these new things will start to occur after May 6th regarding the things that I just mentioned. And they're going to be building for 6 months, and then 6 months down the road will be the full moon in the same area. So over the next 6 months after May 6th, you can expect new things to come into your life regarding shared resources. You can expect new things to come into your life regarding your shared finances and your sex life. So maybe there's going to even be somebody new who's coming into your life who you're going to share your resources with, who you're going to share your finances with, and it's going to be a new sexual partner. So make sure you look out for that after May 6th. And on May 9th, Jupiter, the planet of luck and fortune, is now going direct in Virgo. And Virgo is your 12th house. And the 12th house has to do with things that are coming to a completion, things that are coming to a finalization, and things that are coming to a potential conclusion. And Jupiter's actually been doing a retrograde. Everybody knows retrograde is the planet is going backwards. I mean, it's not literally going backwards. It just looks like it is. But either way, when a planet's in retrograde, things can be kind of hung up. So Jupiter's been retrograding in this 12th house area for you. Virgo is your 12th house, and it's been retrograding since January 7th. So, pretty much almost all this year, Jupiter's been kind of hung up in this 12th house area, this area that has to do with things coming to a completion, this area that has to do with things being finalized, this area that has to do with things coming to a potential conclusion. So what does that suggest? It sounds like something that you've been trying to complete or finalize, or something that you've been trying to bring to a conclusion has been stuck for the majority of this year. And now on May 9th, Jupiter is going to go forward. So now whatever it is that's stuck or you wanted to bring it to a conclusion, or you wanted to bring it to a finalization, or anything that you've been trying to finish that you haven't been able to, now with Jupiter going forward on May 9th in this area is finally going to allow you to do that. So I think you'd be very relieved after May 9th to see that. And on May 12th, Mercury, the planet of communication, is in Taurus, and it's making a positive angle to Pluto, which is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is your 4th house of home and family. So, like I said previously, once again, Taurus, your 8th house, that has to do with your shared resources, it has to do with your shared finances, it has to do with your sex life, and it's making a positive angle to Pluto, which is in Capricorn, which is your 4th house of home and family. So this could suggest several different things. Mercury is the planet of communication, so maybe you're talking about a business partnership with either somebody you live with or somebody that's in your family. If that's not it, then it's also you could look at this from the point of sex. Like I said, like that Taurus, that 8th house area for you has to do with your sex life. And Mercury is in that area on May 12th. So you could be communicating about sex to somebody who you live with. I mean, it's probably your significant other. So it sounds like a good day for your sex life on May 12th, if that's the scenario for you, Libra. On May 21st, there's a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is your 3rd house, and that has to do with your communications in your life. It has to do with writing, it has to do with speaking, it has to do with emails, it has to do with text, it has to do with getting your message across. Any form of communication that you can think about, Libra, in your life. And full moons are like a wild card, so it can go either way depending on how this area of your life has been going. If you feel like you've been kind of holding back about something that you need to communicate, it sounds like on May 21st when the full moon hits, it sounds like this is going to come out. Whatever you need to communicate, whatever you've maybe been holding inside of you that you feel that you need to express now, it may come out on May 21st. It could be something different. It could be something like maybe you need to sell yourself for something, and the full moon could be really great for this because it could really give you the gift of gab. I mean, when you have something like, it's basically full moons are things coming to fruition, so it might be something coming to fruition regarding your communication. So if there's something that you need to sell yourself about on May 21st and following that event, you may be able to get your message across eloquently. On May 22nd, Mercury, the planet of communication, finally goes direct. So Mercury has been doing a retrograde also, and it's been retrograde since April 28th in that 8th house area, Taurus. That 8th house area of shared resources, that 8th house area of shared finances, and that 8th house area of your sex life, that 8th house area of business contracts. So if there's been some kind of business deal or business contract that's been kind of held up between the 28th and between the 28th of April and between May 22nd, because that's how long Mercury's been retrograding in this area, and that's the planet of communication. So maybe there's been conversations and review regarding something that has to do with your shared resources, something that has to do with your shared finances. It could have to do with a business deal, it could have to do with a contract of some sort, but it sounds like it's been delayed, or there's been some kind of hang up there since Mercury started going retrograde in this area on April 28th. But finally, on May 22nd, Mercury will go forward. It will end its retrograde and it'll begin moving forward again. So whatever's stuck in that area of your life will begin to move forward. You may even ink a deal or something after May 21st, so make sure you remember that date. And on May 26th, Jupiter, the planet of luck and fortune in Virgo, that 12th house of completions, that 12th house of conclusions, is actually making a challenging aspect to Saturn, which is in Sagittarius. And like I said, Sagittarius is your 3rd house. That's that area that has to do with the communications in your life. So what does this suggest? It sounds like on May 26th, you're trying to communicate about a conclusion, or you're trying to communicate about something coming to a completion or something coming to a finalization, and it's just not going well. Maybe whoever you're trying to communicate about this conclusion or completion or finalization of something, maybe whoever it is that you're communicating to is just not accepting the fact that something needs to come to a conclusion. So that's definitely one way to look at this aspect on May 26th. That has something to do, with some sort of conclusion and some sort of challenge that you're having in getting your message across regarding it. On May 27th, Mars, the power planet, actually retrogrades so much. I mean, Mars has been retrograding since April 17th, and it's been the whole time. It's been in your third house, Sagittarius, with your communication area. So it may have caused some hangups in your communication since April 17th. But now on May 27th, it's actually retrograding so much. It's going backwards so much that it's going back into your second house, which is Scorpio. And Scorpio has to do with your money. So after May 27th, Mars will continue its retrograde. It'll continue going backwards into Scorpio. So it sounds like there's something that's unfinished regarding money. Think about back to the beginning of 2016, Libra. Was there a money matter? Was there something about money in the beginning of the year? Maybe the first couple of months of the year, maybe even the first 2.5 months of the year. There might have been some kind of issue with money that just kind of went by and just never got resolved. Well, whatever it is, if that's the case, Mars is going back to finish the business. Mars is like, hey, whatever this is, we need to get this money issue resolved. Maybe it's a payout or something. Maybe you were expecting some kind of money and you just never got it. So once Mars goes retrograde back on May 27th, back into your second house of money, Mars is a fast-acting planet, so it's going to get in there and it's going to do whatever it needs to do and do whatever it needs to get done regarding your money. But I think that's all I have for you this month, Libra. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe and like, and make sure to share, and I'll see you next month. Take care. Bye-bye.